Hi there, my name is John Gardner, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Klymit Static V full-size lightweight sleeping mat. I've had this product for about a year now, hence the title A Year in Review, and I've got to camp in a variety of different situations with it. I went up to Algonquin Park 2 separate times, once in July and once in September, and of course did a couple of other lighter trips around the local area here in southern Ontario. For this review, I'm going to be taking it apart, inflating it, deflating it, putting it back together, reviewing the various aspects of it, and overall just giving my feedback for any of you who are interested in buying but aren't quite sure what mattress you want to get. So, let's get into it. Before I take this out of the pouch here, inflate it, and show you what it looks like, setting it up and putting it away, I'm just going to run through some of the specifications, though these can certainly be found online. So the whole thing is 72 inches by 23 inches or 183 centimeters by 58.4 centimeters. So when I take it out of the box, you'll see what that looks like relative to me. The weight of it is 18.1 ounces. So again, metric 514 grams. Long story short, little over a pound. So pretty lightweight as far as a mattress goes. It's got an R value of 1.3. Now you can find many videos online that talk about R value and what exactly this means, but long story short, that R value of 1.3 is relatively low compared to other mattresses out there that are designed for colder climates. My apologies. This one here, with a 1.3 R value, is certainly a summer camping mat. However, I will say in the late spring and in the early fall, I found it certainly adequate, both when I was out in early April and both when I was at Algonquin Park in late September. You could still use that here. So long story short, I'll get to the thick of it. We'll set it up. I have a little area set up. We'll take a look, see what it looks like, and we'll go forward from there. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is take it out of its little storage bag here. You can see it's a nice little bag. It's got one of these I guess you would call it drawstring straps on it. Loosen it up. And the first thing I wanted to point out is that inside the bag, and I'll come right up to the camera here, is a little patch and repair kit. Comes with some glue and some patches that match the mattress. Now, to be completely honest, I have not used these patches, and I haven't used it to repair the mattress yet, so I'm not quite sure how good they are. I'm sure you could certainly find other reviews online where people have said whether the glue and the patch works. If it doesn't, you could certainly go buy one of the other glue and patch sets that are out there, one that's a little more effective, and just put it back in the pouch. But I did like how they include that right away for repairs. So, what you can also see, and some wood under there, is normally when you lay in a mattress, no matter how tough it is, you want to have the area kind of cleaned for obvious things that could puncture it or deflate it. I've done so, and I've also just put down this tarp because it's a little muddy because it's springtime. So I'm going to set this up, roll it out. Comes out like that, folds out. The gray side goes down and the green side goes up, quite obviously from the pictures. Alright, so it's laid out. Now, this thing advertised at the time when I bought it, it said it would take 12 to 13 breaths to inflate the mattress. Now, I mean, that's pretty variable on who you are. If you're King Iron Lung, then I'm sure maybe you could do it in 6. But for the rest of us, I don't know how many breaths it takes. Maybe 12, 14, 15. Kind of a small guy, not big lungs. Either way, it takes less than a minute to inflate. And I'll inflate it right now just to see it pumped up and what it looks like here. So to do so, you have this little cap. You push down and twist, and you're able to pull open. Pretty simple mechanism, kind of similar on a lot of mattresses. Blow it up. course, when you let it go, there it is inflated. When you let it go, obviously air is going to rush out, so you have to quickly push down the cap and turn it. Well, kind of had to do it first before I could explain it. But there it is, the mattress, pretty much full. And of course, like most people say with mattresses, you don't want them completely hard anyway, but this is pretty much the capacity. Now, one thing I will say about this mattress is you can see, relative to a lot of other mattresses, it's quite short and it's quite thin. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it all depends on body type. So I realized to give an effective review of this mattress, I'm going to have to talk about my own weight and height. But anyway, I'm about 5'10", and I'm on average around 142 pounds, usually 140 to 145, depending on which way the wind blows. Either way, for myself, and I'm sure for people even a little bit heavier than me, this still works, even with the thin mattress. And the secret to that is the V shape. And the whole point is that it holds the air in these pockets and doesn't let it move when your weight comes down on it to one side or the other. And the special advantage of the Static V for that is that you can sleep on your side without having your hip hit into the ground. And that's something even on a lot of thicker mattresses, even mattresses I've done car camping with, I've had an issue with. So you'll see this here, I lay it down. Nice and soft. Come back. And there you have it. My whole body is off the ground. You can see there's chambers on the side here, kind of hold it in. The air kind of moves to block you when you roll. Now, my feet are a little bit off the edge, but personally, in all the times I've taken this out camping, I never had an issue. Now, if there was any limitations to this, talking about lying down in comfort level, again, like I said, if you're a bit heavier or a bit taller, just all around bigger person, you may need one a little bigger than this. It may not have enough, because even on my side, and I will do a lie on my side there, even on my side, my hip doesn't touch the ground, but it's just barely. So I can imagine that even being a little bit heavier, I might end up with my hip on the ground there. But yeah, overall, that's what we're looking at here. It's quite good. That being said, as I talked about when I went through the product specifications earlier, being quite thin and having that R value of 1.3, it's not going to be too ideal for really cold weather by any means, and even any weather where the ground is frozen. And in my trip in April, when I went last April, it was around April 5th, I believe, 2019. And I was just out on some local camping area, did some walk back in the woods, set up a fire pit and everything, went to do a little camp. Of course, the ground is still frozen then. And on the frozen ground, even though I had a lot of extra, pairs of sweatpants and a good sleeping bag, that cold was coming right up through the mattress. So that's certainly something to be aware of. But for late spring, all the way through summer, and even in early fall, like my Algonquin trip in the end of September, this was more than adequate for a comfortable sleep, and thermal-wise in that kind of climate, it's perfectly warm enough. That being said, I should deflate this now, and I'll show how deflating and putting it back in the bag goes. One of the reasons I thought this was better than an unboxing is the size you saw it at when I took it out of this bag, and the size you're going to see me put it back in, that's what I would refer to as the more realistic size of the actual product, because the manufacturers seem to have a way when they make things like mattresses and sleeping bags to compress them to an extreme amount, and they always look smaller in the photos. So this is really what you'll see if you use this quite regularly. I'll try to do a good job to put it together reasonably tight. I'm sure if you spent a lot of time on it, you could get it pretty close to what it comes in when the manufacturer ships it to you. But overall, what you're going to see is kind of a general way it's packed and way it's taken apart after it's been used several times. You know, in and out of the bag, in and out of the bag. So I will deflate this now. Of course, just like opening it up to blow on it, you push down, turn, and pull up, and you can hear the air come out of it. For this one, you can start the folding right away, I suppose. But what I like to do, just to make the folding a little easier for the final roll up and keep everything straight, is just kind of roll it out loose like this to get most of the air out of it. So you see it rolled up like this. See how it's nice and loose? I'm not really cranking on it to tighten it up to get all the air out, but just a loose flow, and it gets most of it out. That valve does a pretty good job. And when I roll it out, you can see it's pretty well flat. There's pretty much no air in it. It's great. So the next step, now this is open to opinion, is I always fold it up with the green on the outside, simply because it came with the green on the outside. Though you could certainly fold it up, I assume, the other way with the gray on the outside. And one of the advantages of that is this valve would be hanging on the outside and not on the inside where it could potentially get blocked. That being said, and what I mean by blocked is as you're rolling it up, the valve, you know, the mattress here might block the air from coming out. That being said, I've always rolled it with the green side out, and I've never found that to be an issue, and I have on other mattresses if the plug where the air comes out is in a weird way, it sometimes blocks it when you're trying to roll it up. This one, not at all. So I'm just going to do it how it came in the package and do it the green side out. So how I do that, fold it over. Fold it like this. So you're just bringing those outside because it's kind of divided into 4 separate sections here. I'm not sure if you can see that. Oh, got a little bit of wind coming on us. That's just fantastic. All right, so rolled up like this. And the first step, it's kind of in there. And the second step is simply just roll it together. And now you can see it's the width that it's ready to fit in the bag. And finally, you just simply roll it up. And I will do so now. Now, I'm not sure if you can see me where I'm sitting on the camera right now, but you can certainly listen to the sound of my voice. While I'm doing this, I just wanted to say the overall point of this review was just to, you know, I found things like this on YouTube really helpful when I was looking for, you know, the first set of more lightweight gear, when I started to get into more of the lightweight backpacking, portage and camping. You know, there's a lot of options out there, and it's kind of hard to see what you're looking at. So if anything, if my commentary isn't helpful, certainly feel free to mute me, but even the video of just seeing the Klymit mattress, you know, what it looks like, taken out, moved around, those are kind of the photos I find it's hard to come across when you're when you're looking to buy this stuff and you haven't seen it in person. So if this helps, certainly let me know. Of course, as well, considering this is one of my first YouTube videos, well, is my first YouTube video, if you have any comments or constructive criticism, feel free to leave it. Alright, so as you can see, just the delicate process of trying to keep everything straight. But that's it's not particularly troublesome. That's just all air mattresses, or anything, sleeping bags, tarps, that kind of stuff. Alright, so we're almost there. And again, I'm just trying to take my time here so I can reasonably show how it would go back together. I don't want it too loose, like I just threw it in there. And obviously not going to spend a ton of time to make it close to factory tight, but this is how it will carry for the most part in your pack if you're taking it out every day and moving. So there it is. Flick get the pouch for it open here. And there you have it, all back together. That's the Klymit Static V. All right, that's it. That's my review of the Klymit Static V lightweight sleeping pad. Overall, as I've kind of hinted at throughout the review, I highly like this product. It's a great mattress. It's great for the price. I purchased it for only $85 Canadian on Amazon. I'll post the US equivalent in the video. As you can see, the upsides of it are the portability, lightweight, easy to use, easy to set up, easy to tear down. I talked about some of the limitations, of course, with the R value, and we're using it in colder climates. It may not be the best option, but again, great for late spring all the way through summer and early fall, at least in southern Ontario where I'm located. The only other limitation I talked about is it's relatively short and thin, so size-wise, it may best be suited for smaller individuals, but again, I'm sure there's other videos out there, people a little bigger than myself who've used it and still found it comfortable. So you'll certainly have to do your research and find out if that's up to you. That being said, overall, great product, recommend. That's what I got. Thank you very much. One more quick thing, thank you very much for watching my first ever YouTube video. I've really wanted to get into filming the outdoor activities I do and really talking about the products and gear, the quality stuff that I come across that really made it happen, and I really want to share that, so I hope to have some more videos in the future. Again, I'm John Gardner. Thank you very much for watching. Have yourself a great day.